All right, let's see if we live. Excellent connection. All right, boom. All right, they're hearing you now. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? I was just finished talking actually to family, talking to moms, and talking to my sister. So I let a few of y'all get in here. Hope everybody going good. Let me check my sound here. Let me check my sound. Give me a second. Everybody going good. Let me check my sound here. Oh, it's fine. Or you can turn it off. I don't know. I don't know how it would look without it. Okay, well, I'm in the dark. I can do that too. But yeah, I was waiting for y'all to get in here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all had a good day. Doing some moving around myself. More. Yeah, what time? Let me see what time it is over there right now. What time it is? You can hear me greatly. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I was just checking my sound. Let a few of y'all get in here. We're gonna talk about old Governor Ron DeSantis this morning. Well, I guess morning for y'all. We're gonna talk about Ron DeSantis because it's quite funny that he wants to shield the Mzungus. Let me use that word today from feeling some sort of way when they have a conversation or teaching about race. So, yeah, peace and yes, peace and as a EMMSS. Um, while waiting for few more people to get in here, what's been on your mind? It's 32 in Qatar. Okay, all right, okay. So yeah, so me and you in the same time zone there, brother. We in the same time zone. Oh, so you say it's not okay. So Alabama is at Eastern Standard Time. That's Eastern Standard Time, I think, in Alabama. You say political correctness. No, the title is not political correctness. The title and what's going on with him is just pandering. Okay, you say it's 10:32 a.m. over here. Okay, cool. Gotcha. You say shout out from the D. It's cold out here, but we still making moves. What you say D? What D we talking about? Dallas, Detroit. What we talking about? Because I know it's cold out there in Detroit. Oh, shout out to Chizzy Music. Shout out to you, Jemima Nelson. Shout out to you. Wait a minute, Jemima, didn't I meet you in New York that time when we had that meet and greet? Is that you? I'm thinking about that. Isn't that you? Didn't I meet you years ago? Okay, I remember you. I remember you. Oh yeah, you been yeah. It's been a while too. I do remember you. I do remember you. Yeah, NYC. Yep, I do remember you. Shout out to you. You still out there hanging in the East Coast, huh? Awesome. Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, we're gonna let people get this. Just give people another minute. We're gonna get started. We always gotta let the people come on in. Come on in. Um, you say JE Studios in Qatar also. Okay. Shout out to Qatar. Now, how is it out there in Qatar? I'm talking like for the brothers. How is it out there? Because sometimes brothers, you have different experiences, but yeah, let me know how it is for the brothers out there. Now, the interesting thing in these other countries, but see, I'm already prepared for it because I do a lot of research. Boy, some of these people got a staring problem. They be staring like they. my wife was over there because they had a staring. They were staring at her the other day. We was eating. They just kept staring and staring and staring, and it's like, now in other countries you can't, like in America. You stay at somebody too long, possibly something gonna pop off. But in these other countries, you either got to ignore it or just keep walking or whatever because it can really turn into something too. In these other countries, now you have to also be understanding that you're not in the U.S., right? So you need to move accordingly wherever you at. You understand what I'm saying? Always remember those people in these other countries are always going to have the upper hand than you. So just move accordingly. I'm not saying let somebody beat you, disrespect you, or whatever, but it is what it is. So you not know. Like I said, they don't stare at me too much. They're staring at my wife, not me. I mean, I've seen a few stare here and there. I have to look at them dead in the eye, and then everybody look away from me. But her, I don't know. I don't know. You said, okay, brother. You saying Qatar is fine for you? Lots of different people here, so I don't really stand out. Okay. You say you moving to Ghana this year. Okay. Sick of the cold in Detroit. I hear you. I hear you. You said Singapore. I heard that about Singapore. My brother-in-law told me because he had went to Singapore when he was in the military. He's a Marine, and he talked about how Singapore was very clean. All right. You say Argentina. Well, a lot of the Nazis from Germany actually went to Argentina after World War II. If you know that history, in Argentina, they had the history. They killed off a lot of the black population, but the stream not about that. But hey, that's the research in Argentina. They purposely put black people on the front lines to get killed off when they was fighting, having them to fight Chile at the time. But a lot of black folks actually escaped there. But that's here and there. All right, so yeah, you always pick your battles, no matter where you at, and be smart. Like they say, be harmless. As what they say, be harmless as a dove and wise as a serpent. Always. All right, so let's talk about DeSantis here. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he's facing some backlash on some legislation that he proposed last month that critics say panders to the Mzungus. They said the bill, they say, would prohibit public schools and private businesses from making anyone feel discomfort when they teach students or train employees about America's racially charged history. Now, see, first they went after public schools, talking about this dumb critical race theory crap. That's the biggest fake news, fake ideology that's out there, right? So first they clamped down, coming up with laws saying you can't teach American history. Now this fool saying private businesses now can't, are trying to put in there. They can't teach their students or train their employees. That means when a company teach about discrimination on the job, when a company talk about some sort of harassment or whatever, right? They can't give certain instances like samples of what would be quote unquote about race, right? Now he's not worried about me. He's not worried about you. He's worried about those, the Mzungu. And the fact is, he's a Mzungu Cuban. We want to make sure we put that out there. Those Mzungu Cubans, I ain't talking about the black ones. The Mzungu Cubans is the ones that ran over here from Cuba, ran from their homeland because Fidel Castro did not want to run Cuba like a white supremacist enclave. All the ones that ran from Cuba when Fidel Castro had took over was the ones with white supremacist ideology. And that's why they ran there behind the Florida. And that's why they think just like that American white supremacist. Anybody know their history would know that. Oh, they talk about so bad about Fidel Castro. When you start looking into the Fidel Castro and what he's done, what he actually do, that was so freaking wrong. You understand what I'm saying? He helped out black people a lot. Matter of fact, when Fidel Castro got in, he said, "Oh no, everybody equal now. You're not gonna be treating black people like that." A lot of black folks, you look at Asata Shakur, she went over there to Cuba. They still hot about that. They still hot. That sister got away with the help of some brave black men, right? And they say that stupid crap about black men don't defend black women or protect black women. Man, the whole situation with Asata Shakur, if I had the money, I would make a movie off of it because that was some movie things that happened to bust out Asata Shakur and get her to Cuba. Brothers did that, and brothers died to get her over there too. You understand? So a lot of those Cubans, identify with the white supremacists. I even had one of them Cubans mad at me, boy. Oh, he was high with me about when I was saying that. Say, I'm Cuban. I'm not Mzungu, I'm Cuban. Like, dude, I'm looking dead at you. There are black Cubans and there's the Mzungu Cubans too. And you are one of them. Don't get mad. You identify with these folks over here. That's why you vote the way you vote. And DeSantis, he thinks just like them folks, right? Okay, continuing. So they say the bill passed its first round of approval earlier this week. They said the proposal becomes the latest move from conservatives in what has been seen as a growing trend to erase American history. Let me say that. They're trying to erase American history. They're trying to burn the books, no different than Nazi Germany. Now, I said the academic concept focused the intersection of systemic racism and the policy in the United States from the public sphere. That's what they want to stop. They want to stop. Let me tell you something. When you dumb down the people, they're more controlled. When the people's more educated, they become a problem for a politician because they're going to know their laws, they're going to know what to do, they're going to protect themselves, etc. Now, they keep talking about, they're saying the passing of laws of this nature will virtually make it illegal for educators to teach students about inequality and race, and private businesses to also teach about these things. Now, I thought Republicans respected private business. I thought they respected that. You know what I'm saying? It's all business. Now you're telling the business where they can't teach on their jobs for their employees? Are you going to be there to pay for their lawsuits? Because this is exactly what I would tell them if I was operating in the state of Florida. I say, okay, well, if we are sued for racial discrimination, are you going to pay those lawsuits if we lose? Because we could have trained our employees not to be discriminatory racially. We could have trained them. But you don't want us to teach that. So make sure that you got the check ready to pay people if someone is discriminatory by race in this company. Because we shouldn't have to pay for crap. You understand? Now continuing. So they're talking about critical race theory itself was developed in the 70s and 80s. They said triggered by what scholars felt it was a lack of racial progression following several monumental civil rights movements in the 1960s. Now, in part, they say the bill proposed by DeSantis says a person on the basis of race or gender does not take responsibility for actions done in the past by other members of the same caste or gender. Discomfort, guilt, pain, or any other kind of psychological distress should not be experienced. Now, race means the Mzungu. Gender, for the most part, means the Mzungu male, because the Mzungu male has been the one that's enacted the terrorism, have enacted the violence. That's why he said gender, because that's call it what it is. You can't say you got pictures. I'm not saying they ain't been there now, but the majority of the people who committed the heinous acts have been the Mzungu male. Okay? Continuing. Now, the interesting part is this. Let me tell Ron DeSantis something. This bill really isn't worth a drop of piss in value. I want to tell you why. It's not worth a drop of piss because no bill that you pass can remove the guilt that group of people feel within themselves about what their ancestors have done and what they do today to maintain the system that their ancestors create, the system of inequality, the system of white supremacy, the system of oppression. Okay? They know they maintain that system. This is why they feel guilt. You understand? Oh, the guilt on them is real. It is a real thing. This is why some of them say, I ain't got no guilt, because they walk around with a guilt on their shoulders because they know what they do to black people is wrong. They know what they're doing is wrong. Matter of fact, how many times have people have asked them, you want to trade places with black people? And all of them say no. Why? Because they know what they have done to black people. See, when they say, well, it's the past and why people today should feel bad for what happened in the past, we had nothing to do with it. No, you didn't put nobody swinging from a tree. Oh, you didn't go bomb nobody's churches. No, you didn't do that. You didn't go run in a black town and just shot up the place and ran black people out of their homes and everything and stole all their homes and kill off black, people, black men, took their farms and no. You didn't do any of that. You did not. I would never say no one in 2022 had anything to do with that in the past. But what makes you worse than them in the past, they did it. You know they did it. You know. And you refuse to make it right. You refuse to return land and finances, reparations, to the people that your ancestors stole from. And you maintain a system built off of theft, violation or the R word, slavery, all kind of the most evil of the evil. You maintain still to this day. So you cannot say your hands are clean. You had nothing to do with nothing in the past because you maintain that system today. You will never be free of the quote unquote guilt until you make it right. When you say, I ain't paying no reparations, I ain't had nothing to do with it, that guilt will always stay on you. It is your proverbial curse that you walk around with every day. No bill DeSantis can come out with can remove the guilt and shame that's upon your soul. Now, in the scriptures, it teaches that the Holy Spirit have come into the earth to convict men of sin. And your issue is your shame and your guilt is this. The Holy Spirit of the Lord is upon you all the time, convicting you of your sin. And your guilt is not coming from me. It's not coming from black people or any other group of people you done wrong. You ain't just done wrong to black people. But your guilt comes from the evil that you continue in your whole system. Right now, they're talking about voting rights and all of that. Even the way that has come about has been done in an evil and unjust manner. Understand? Whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, y'all all the same. And what I mean by y'all all the same, both of you are in agreement that you do not want freedom, justice, and equality for the black man and black woman of America. Both parties in agreement with that. The Democrats know how to play the game a little bit better, act like they black people friend, hug a few black babies, shuck and jive with a few bootlicks in our community. And the Republicans just not going to do that. They're going to be open with theirs, and that's that. But both parties are in agreement with that. No matter what side of the aisle you on, you want nothing for black people. And by that alone, whether you Democrat or Republican, the guilt, condemnation, and shame is on you, and you walk around with a proverbial curse. And you will continue to see that curse fall upon you, and your days will get harder and harder and harder because you have never made things right. And I'm just telling you what was going on. The reason why the nation is spiraling out of control is because the time of judgment is upon you because you never made it right with God's children. That's why. So you can write all the bills you want, DeSantis, or anybody else. You could talk about critical race theory. Hell, you can make it federal law. It's still not going to absolve you for what happened in the past and what you maintain today. And didn't even the scriptures teach that the sins of the fathers follow up to the third and fourth generation? You haven't had a generation that stopped sinning against God's children. So it's going to continue to follow you over and over and over and over and over. You will never have a lick of peace. All of you Western nations, you will never have peace. Not only that, you have went in and destabilized nations. You have killed people. We talked about Gaddafi yesterday. It's not just Gaddafi. You did it to Saddam Hussein. You did it to so many different people in Latin America because they don't do what you want them to do. You want to steal their resources. You want to take from people. You so many things that you have done in other countries that even to this day, even look at what you're doing in America too with mass incarceration. How you gelling the black man? Black men, and what is it? What 6% of the population, and how is they overwhelmingly represent in prison? When we know about FBI statistics, the Mzungu male commits the most crimes, but he don't go to jail. All that you do, you gotta pay for that. You got to. They would not have a just God in heaven if you didn't have to pay for that. You think that all your life that you're gonna just sit on high on the hall, that you're gonna sit on as a king and queen on a hill, and everybody just falling at your feet and serving you, and there's a day of recompense wasn't gonna come? It's going to get worse. I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. Black folks don't have to do nothing. I'm telling black people, you don't have to do nothing at all. No, all you got to do is sit back and watch. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do nothing. It's nothing you have to do. Now, those of you that want to mimic them, those of you that want to be like them, you're going to get their judgment too. Because, oh yes, you're going to get it. Because that's not what the Lord wants for you. It's to mimic what they do. The worst thing you could tell me is what they doing. Or they don't do that. I don't care what they do. That's not the group of people I'm trying to model my life after. Sorry. Out of all the problems we have as a community, I'll deal with that. But I'm not mimicking myself after a people in America that has that kind of history. No. They have to lie to themselves all the time. They have to lie. They can't just say, look at the good I have done. Look at the good. They have to lie to themselves to say they're superior. They have to lie to themselves that they're the best. They have to lie and say the country they live in is the best. And then now the Lord, through the internet for sure, has pulled the wool off. And people are finding out, wait a minute, that's a lie. What are they talking about? We are not the best. We are not the best educated in the world. We aren't fed the best food in the world. We're failing there. We don't have the best of the best doctors all the time. We have a healthcare system that's so wicked because if a person can't pay, okay, then they can't go see a doctor. They can't go see a dentist. They can't go see anything because we have wicked people say you need to pay for that. And if you don't pay for that, will suffer and die. Do you know how evil that is? And that's their system. Now, in some European countries, they got it right. Some European countries, they don't have to pay. And that's the right way to be. But we talking about them for sure. We talking about America and the way they have been. Their whole existence. Like, do you think that you can just get away? And like, listen, every empire had to deal with the evil that is done. Why do you think you're going to escape? This is why I tell black folks, don't take pride in what they built. Don't take pride in that. You take pride in who you are, who we are as a people, and who we know had to be for thousands of years before we even met them. You don't want to be in that crosshair. There's nothing that DeSantis can do to remove that. Listen, if you want that guilt removed, I'm gonna tell you how to remove that guilt. Don't come to me writing me emails. You know what to do. Don't send me no emails telling me what can I do. I'm not here to teach you anything. Because that's another thing. Black people don't need to teach you nothing. Black people done taught your kids. Black folks done breastfed your kids hundreds of years. Black folks have tilled your land. change your baby's diapers, clean your house. Black women, clean your house. Black people educated you. Black people fought with you, defended you. Black folks have done enough for you. You on your own. You say you're smart, you're superior, so you're on your own. If you want to remove the guilt, if you want to remove the condemnation and shame that you have, then you must do right by the black man and black woman of America. Number one, you must return land. You must change laws that make everything equal and fair. Matter of fact, black people need to be the exact same level in equality as black people. I'm sorry, white folks and black folks need to be equal, basically. They need to share the same amount of power, the same amount of resources, same amount of finances. Understand? If you want to make it right, you must give reparations. And no, you don't get to determine what reparations is. You don't. Black folks say it's tangible resources in the area of finance. Black folks have said it's land. I believe it should be both. Hell, I believe black folks should be tax exempt, like the churches. Y'all let everybody else come in the country, let them pay the taxes. Right? Just to start. And we know you can do it because we've seen with the virus bill, you could pass bills as trillions of dollars and you just start depositing money in bank accounts. So we know you can do it. It's not impossible. You ain't got to send out paper checks. It's direct deposit. There you go. But you're sitting up here, was just floating around $450,000 to people that came across the border. But you never floated around $450,000 for us. And notice that wasn't even going through Congress at first. Y'all see, it's Democrat or Republican. Like I said, it's not just one group. Like I said, you understand that. And all you collaborators, let me speak to you too. All you collaborators that came to this country, America, and you sided with them to be against us, it's coming on you too. You're not free either. Anyone that has collaborated with the white supremacists will get his judgment too. And when I'm gonna tell you this, we've seen you. Don't look this way. When it start coming down on you, don't look this way. Because we're gonna, like the old people say, go back over there with them people. We see you already. Go back over there. That's the side you chose. Go over there. Even in the Bible, Moses has said, look, you want to be on the side of the golden calf or you want to be on the side of the Lord? Choose this day. And a lot of you have chose a golden calf because you felt it was better to just come into a country that you didn't even build, being against black folks that never done you anything. Okay? Ron DeSantis and his people. We ain't done y'all nothing. What have we done to y'all? We have never done nothing to y'all. I can't find one group of people on the planet Earth that we as a collective of people have just harmed. We ain't done nothing to y'all. But see, the difference is today, see, God gave y'all some good people that was very loving. Because we talk about the civil rights movement and people in the past. We talk about Jesse Jackson and all these other people. But then one day it dawned on me. To say, well, maybe God was just giving them a chance with Jesse Jackson and the rest of them to align with God's people. And they chose not to. Or they use God's people to get a step up in this country, right? And because their whole goal was to side with the devil. And then now you got a new generation to say, okay, well, we ain't Jesse Jackson now. We're not singing Kumbaya with you. We see you. We see you no different than we see that white supremacist. You chose to go with them. You chose to be an enemy of black people, not because we wanted you to be. We welcome anybody in America with open arms and loving hands. Okay, we're willing to show you things. You say, hey, come live in our neighborhood. We'll go eat at your restaurants. We go, come eat with us. Everything we could, come to our church. I mean, anything that we had, we open our arms to you, no matter where people come from. Because the way black people are, is they the same way globally. Okay. You go to the Caribbean, black folks are loving, open arms. Go to the African continent, black folks loving, open arms, right? It's when you kept slapping those open arms and you start treating black people any kind of way. It's why black people today say, where you come from now? Well, who are you? I don't know nothing about you. What's wrong with black people? They acting hateful these days. Well, black people, they the real racists. No, black people ain't racist. Black people just see your track record. And they know that they're not about to get bit because you're coming there like a snake. And we ain't gonna play with no snakes no more. You side with them people, okay? We understand that. This is why the Dr. John Henry Clark, the great prophet that he was, said we have no friends. He saw that coming a mile away. That's one of his famous statements. We talking about collectively, of course. I always told people there are individuals in many groups that have rock with us, fight with us, and everything. And we rock and fight with them. But collective groups, no. Get this off. And it's not because we chose that, they chose it. You ever heard that say? You say you chose that, not me. You chose not to be over here with us. You got a little leg up, and you thought you were better. And you gonna see, like I said, you gonna see when it's too late. You gonna see. You see. See, the day gonna come with that Mzungus not gonna be able to help you either. Then you're gonna start looking at, but hey, black people, man, I got some African in me too. Nah, no, you don't. Go, don't come over here. Don't come over here talking about the Africa anything. You had a lot of years to talk about Africa and your connection to black people. And all of a sudden, when them folks then turned on you, when them folks don't want you no more, when them folks now see you as a threat to their power, and they showing your behind, don't look over here. Let me hold on. I'm glad. Hold on. What's this comment? Hold on. What's this comment? Let me show this comment. So are we putting together a third party or what? Putting together a third party means you still believe in their system. And if you believe in their system, you will fail. Their system was never meant for people to look like me, okay, to be involved in it completely and equally. It wasn't. So, creating a third party, do you understand in their system, you're failing before you even get started? There's white people that have tried to create third parties. We talking about white people, throw you out. White people have tried to create parties. They have parties. The Green Party, um, Independent is a party. There's so many different parties out there, and they block all of them. We talking about the white ones. Now here you come talking about you gonna create a third party, and white people couldn't even do it with their resources and their white privilege. They couldn't do it because their system is set up for Democrat and Republican, not nothing else. You keep believing in that system, you failing. Their politics don't save us. Every time we have gotten something in America, we didn't get it through the ballot box. Every time you study Black history, we've never gotten anything through a ballot box. They are what we done in the country affected the politics. It wasn't the other way around. When Martin Luther King died, before he died, right? He was trying to get the Fair Housing Act. They didn't want to hear what King had to say. They killed Dr. King. What happened after that? Holy Week. They were so scared this country was about to go under because Black folks were turning up in America. It wasn't until 7 days after that Black folks turning up. They said, hey, let's get this Fair Housing Act going. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Black folks didn't form no third party. They just had Holy Week. It's just simple. If you believe in Democrat, you believe in Republican, you believe in a system, and that system is going to fail you every time because it was never meant for people like me or you. When it was creating that system, my ancestors and your ancestors, if you are a Black American, were slaves. They were not sitting at the table with all those white men drafting a constitution. Look at the pictures. They're all white men. So why do you think that you're included? What did Mitch McConnell the other day say? Well, what did he say the other day? He talked about African Americans has voting just as much as Americans. They don't even see you as American, even though we all Americans, of course. I mean, you get your passport, it says American, but you know how these people are. They feel like they're the real Americans. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. See. A lot of Black folks in America do all that talking, Shawnee, but see, they're not ready for that. Right there, what you just said. Boycotting them is the whole way to get their attention. They only understand when you hit them in the pockets. Exactly. See, Dr. King was masterful at that. He exposed their hand. They can't do nothing without your money. All you got to do is hold your money. Matter of fact, you ain't got to just boycott everything. You can just target a corporation. That's all you got to do is target one and make an example out of one. You ain't got to boycott them all. Make an example out of one. And they so fearful, they will fall in line. Black folks contribute so much money to the American economy that you can literally send the country into a recession if you just hold your money. Because you are the biggest consumer in America. Black folks are. They're not. You are. And then Black folks would stop going to restaurants and say, I'm going to eat at home. Watch what happens. If Black folks say, I'm not going to the movie theaters no more. I'm just going to watch movies at the house. I'm going to watch it on Netflix, HBO Max, whatever. I'm going to stop doing that. Just even stop spending money on entertainment with them and purposely tell them the reason you're doing it. And I promise you, those corporations will switch up in a minute and they will all talk about, hey, we don't want to piss off Black people. Look what happened to this company. You know, they get online about that. Yeah, but thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. Black folks, that's right. Black folks spend all that money right there, what you just said, annually. Okay. And none of it really go to the hands of Black people like that. If you that's Black people's greatest weapon. A lot of people want to talk and all of that. That's the non-violent thing that you can do that will be the most effective, because you know what? They can't put you in jail for not spending your money. They can't shoot you with a gun. They can't pepper spray you. They can't have a dog bite you for you not spending your money. No one will be committing a crime. That's like a win-win situation for you. Everybody could be involved with that one. You don't have to have the warriors going out there and putting themselves on the line, because everybody's not a warrior. That's understandable. But everybody can participate in a boycott. Everybody. It's too easy to participate. Look at during the pandemic. You wasn't going to restaurants in the pandemic, they shut that down. You wasn't going to the mall, they shut that down. You wasn't going to movies, they shut that down. You wasn't doing a whole lot of things during the pandemic in the beginning. And guess what? You were just fine. Also, you wasn't even going to their schools. Your children was at home learning remotely. So meaning you don't even need their schools. You understand? I mean, man, look, this virus has changed the game completely. There are more black families that have pulled their children out of public schools and they go into private academies or they're doing something like K-12. Because a lot of people are doing K-12. A lot of black folks are doing K-12. If you don't know what K-12 is, look it up. K-12 is an awesome program. Look it up. If you type of person want to travel the world, you're a digital nomad, and you had your child sign up for K-12, you could be doing, as long as the internet connection, your child could be doing school in whatever country you want to be in. You're right. They do get paid for attendance, but it's a lot. Listen, it's not just black folks. White people even getting tired of public schools. They getting tired. They pulling their kids out too, because they realize their kids ain't learning either. They pushing all this ideology in schools. They can say critical race theory. They could be put. There are things they be pushing like things with LGBT that shouldn't be pushed on children. You talk about the girls' sports. There's so many things that parents are pulling their kids out of school for, and that's just reality. This is what they're doing. A person asked, "Do I believe we will ever go back to what it was before?" No, no. We have a new life. I hate the word new normal, but no, things are not going to go back to what it was, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's a great thing that black parents have had an explosion in homeschooling. That's a beautiful thing. Prior to the pandemic, you couldn't get black folks to even think about that. But once black parents got to say, wait a minute, I ain't got to send my kids to school with these freaking Karens. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to send my kids to school with no race soldiers. I can protect my kids just on that alone, so they're not psychologically abused. They're not their self-esteem isn't abused. They're not physically abused. Oh man, this is a great thing. Yeah, what you say? Read a book. Yeah, people don't want their kids around that. Sorry, they don't. I think that should be for adults who choose to enact that. That's okay for adults, but not for children. Black business who give they people a small discount. Oh, now that's why I got a problem with how black people will ever make it in business when they got to give 40 million black people a 2% discount. You never tell white people they need to give you a discount. You know how disrespectful that is to black people and the hard work they put in. They work harder than any other group due to discrimination. They can't get bank loans like talking about. It's hard for them to get loans through the SBA. Black people are doing it majority of the time on their own, and whatever they price their stuff at, okay, wherever they price their things at is what they got to price them. And then our own people should be the main ones understanding our plight. And what do some of our people do? You need to give me a discount, but you never tell Nike to give you a discount. You never tell freaking Valencia to give you a discount. You never tell Louis Vuitton to give you a discount. You never tell them that. I'll be seeing y'all walk around wearing the North Face. Y'all never tell North Face to give you a 2% discount, but black people. So how is it that you it's okay to give a white man money, but black folks they gotta take a discount because just because you black. That is a poverty mentality, number one, and that's an anti-black mentality. Why is it anti-black? Because when you get it from black people, you should get it for a cheaper price. But everybody else, you're gonna pay their full price. You should be telling these other groups they should give you a discount. All these different groups that come in our neighborhoods. Hey, you in our neighborhood, give us a 2% discount. Why don't you go tell the Asians that in the black neighborhoods? Hey, you in our neighborhood, give us a 2% discount. Go tell the Arabs and Indians, hey, you got a convenience store in our community? We need a 2% discount. You won't tell none of these people that. Why? But you gonna tell black people that? And the reason I'm talking about that because that's not the only person that think like that. When do you think judgment in the United States is going to happen? It's already happening. Have you been paying attention? I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying. Whatever black people say the price is, I'm gonna go ahead and pay it. Why? Because that's what the price is. I don't argue with white people about their prices. So why am I arguing with black people about their prices? Help out another black person. If you think it's too much, well, look at it as a love offering for your brother. Look, or your sister. Just say it. Yeah, it may be a little extra, but you know what? I'll give that little extra as a love offering. Sure, I can go get it from the Asian, maybe $2 or $3 cheaper, but I'm gonna go ahead and give that love offering to my brother or sister. It's not overpriced. I'm just giving a love offering. So that way, when they business gets settled, they can start dropping them prices a little more. Understand? Give love offerings to your people. It's not overpriced. It's just you just got to add a little love offering. That's all. They say they don't want to talk about any critical race theory unless it's voter suppression. Encourage you to vote, then still do nothing for you. Once again, if you believe in this system, you fail, and black folks gonna continue to fail. And that's cool. Shopping, hey, shopping's okay. Shopping's okay. And yeah, this comment I saw here, black business. Hold on, what's comment at? Black businesses are loyal and much better than other businesses. Listen, statistics show black businesses hire more people to get out of prison than any other group because we know our people. I don't care if a person got a record. So what? There's only a few things I care about. Like, look, I ain't with no pedos and you some serial violator. You know the R word. You some serial violator to women. Um, but if you told me, hey, yeah, I did go to jail, you know, it was a homicide case, but what it was is I was in the gang, he was in the gang, it was either me or him, but I ain't in that life no more. Man, it was my past. Okay, hey, it was just you and him. What could I say? That was street business, you know. Now, as long as you're not embezzling anything, well, even if you embezzling something, I'm like, I'm not saying you can't be redeemed, but I gotta make sure I can trust you. So we ain't gonna put you over the money, brother. But we put you doing something else. Just we gotta make sure. Some people have a way of relapsing. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, to get back to what we were saying earlier, let me see what it say. Never seen a Chinese food or hair store commercial in my life, but they become millionaires off of us. Crazy. And once again, they do. They don't need advertising, and you don't go in there and say you need a 2% discount. Go ask Mr. Lee if you can get a 2% discount because you're black. Watch what Mr. Lee gonna tell you in your own neighborhood. Mr. Lee will kick your butt in your own neighborhood and dare you come back. Mr. Lee and Miss Lee, they gonna kick your butt in there. Please. They will kick your butt and lock the door. That's what they gonna do. And the reason why I know they're gonna kick your butt and lock the door, because I've covered too many stories of them doing it to y'all. and y'all go right back. That's the crazy part. You go right back. Like they selling oxygen or something. Like you just gotta have it or you're gonna die. No, Mr. Lee not gonna use no martial arts. That's the interesting part. They don't be using martial arts on y'all. They just be regular whipping y'all, putting y'all in headlocks and all kind of other things that they be doing to y'all. So what they say? Have you ever seen an African American work in a Chinese restaurant? Let me think about it. Not a restaurant, but I have seen some in their beauty supply store. I have seen that. Matter of fact, my daughter's friend had worked for some actually in a beauty supply store. That's right. They don't need to advertise. They don't need to advertise. Evelyn, yes, it's sad. And Evelyn, I have to say this, Sister Evelyn. Um, y'all sisters are the only one can really deal with that issue with the beauty supply. And I know they use guerrilla tactics on black women because I remember that story I covered with a sister saying how the guerrilla tactics they use on black women when they're in the industry, that they try to cut them out of suppliers and do. Oh boy, they do some dirty things to black women in that industry. But the black women, y'all got to get on code. Y'all can break them overnight because y'all their customers. Y'all their customers. Like I say, if y'all get on code and say, I'm not gonna buy nothing from them people. If I can't buy it from a black person locally, I'm just gonna buy it online. Shh, them stores will be done. They'd be begging them black women to, hey, what, could you want to buy my store? Because I ain't making no money or whatever they want to do. Black women can break them. I don't know why. Now I know the nail situation. I say that I don't know why more black women don't do nails. Yes, black women do nails. Trust me, they do. But I don't know why more don't do nails because you see everywhere you go, the different Asian groups got a lock on them nails. They got a lock on that. They do. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Valerie says she went natural years ago. Awesome, Valerie. You're saving you some money and you're saving the health of your hair by doing so. If you notice something, that when these sisters put down the creamy crack and they start going natural, notice how they stop getting chemical burns, up to third-degree burns in their hair. They stop dealing with they didn't have to worry about their hair breaking off anymore. And these sisters now, the natural hair is down their freaking back because you grow it in the state that God created you to grow it in. What a lot of y'all was doing before, and I get it. Trust me, I understand white supremacy. I understand that y'all had to conform in a lot of ways on your jobs. I understand. Sometimes when people make the conversation about perms and weaves, they don't really talk about how working for white folks, they pressure black women to conform to um, a way that makes white people comfortable, which is a perm or weave. White people are not comfortable with black people with their natural hair, male or female, because they got brothers out here that got long locks and they have suffered on jobs too, or told you got to cut your locks or you're gonna get fired. So it happens to any black person, male or female. Yeah. Well, shoot, there's a lot of food in America we all gotta stop eating. Um, you say you're not Malika say you're natural and you don't use their shops. Um, you say you've been natural for 10 years and you said your hair is down your back. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Every person I know that's natural, their hair grow down their back with no problems. It grows. Man, look, let your hair be natural. There's so many different supplies and things now that you can get even online. You know, shoot, I said I was gonna start growing my hair back a little bit, but I just want to grow it back just to I can use my twisted up comb on there. I'm not trying to grow it back how I had it before, but definitely I want to use my twisted up comb again. I was kind of like just doing different things in my hair every blue moon because I cut my hair short or whatever. And my wife say, "Oh yeah, I like your hair this length right here. It looks nice or whatever." And I said, "I just want to grow it just a little bit more, just so I can use my twisted up comb and things like that." Um, I remember when I used to get my hair twisted. Y'all remember when I used to twist my hair, whatever. Well, everybody would like my twist. I would go places, be like, man, I like your hair. You know, my wife wasn't too much of a fan of the twist, but twisted up comb she was cool with. Just that. She's like, I ain't really liking that too much. But and then the way I sleep, I'll get it twisted. I go to the Nigerian sister, get it twisted, with the comb or whatever, and I'll have it all messed up the next day, whatever. But yeah, man. You can grow hair, grow it if you can, And then sometimes you cut it. Like when I cut my hair the last time, everybody said, why you cut your hair? I said, it's just hair. It can grow back, you know, it can. He said, city girls don't stop. Well, you can't. Well, Sister Ray, you can't save the city. Some of the city girls can't be saved. Now, some of them may redeem themselves later, but you can't focus on the city girls. You gonna have that. You gonna have that. You gonna have that. Okay. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me wrap this up. I'm gonna go ahead and start another stream on our African Diaspora News Insider channel. I need to talk about another story because I try to trying to do 2 live streams for y'all on 2 different channels. So I'll go ahead and end this one. Thank you for joining us here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, African Diaspora News channel. Make sure you click the like button. And thank you for everybody that donated for the love offerings. I appreciate the love offerings. You are beautiful people for that love offering. I thank you for that. So I'm gonna go ahead in here. Let me get set up with the next one on the African Diaspora News Insider channel. We're gonna talk about this particular Karen Judge that we talked about before. So yeah, y'all be easy and let me set this next stream up on the next channel.